Hello everyone, happy Monday. It's Stacy. Thank you for joining us again. Looking forward to another week. We have a lot of fun planned today. We're going to meet some cats. So who are my cat people out there? We haven't visited with our adult cats in a long while. We visited the Kitten Nursery, but we're going to meet some of our adult cats and learn about body language and some ideas for enrichment for your own cats. So we are staying safe at the Humane Society. We have our masks on. We are social distancing. We don't have our mics today, so please let us know if you can't hear us or we need to speak louder, okay? So we'll hopefully make sure that you can hear us. Before I forget, I want to tell you that the rest of the week is going to the birds. So on Wildlife Wednesday, we have a really cool day. We have our peregrine and our Merlin Falcon ambassadors coming, so that's going to be really cool. And then on Friday, I'm going to take a field trip and visit some chickens. So don't forget to join us for those. So, but today, I have the amazing Juliet. She is our community training coordinator, and she is also very knowledgeable in cats and interacting with them. And any volunteers, anybody who comes here has to learn Cats 101, who wants to be a cat companion, because we need to learn how to interact with them safely and make sure that the cats are happy and everybody is staying safe. So Juliet today is going to give us a few tips about how to stay safe with cats, how to observe what they're telling us with their bodies. If you have tuned into our episodes, you know when we talk about dog body language and dog bite prevention, we use the word wait. Every time you see an animal, my friends, I want you to stop and wait. Calm your bodies, look at what the animal's doing, try to figure out what they're telling us, see if it's a good time to approach or interact, and use that to inform your decisions, because sometimes our animal friends just want to be left alone. So we're going to learn about that today. I'm going to hand it over to Juliet, and we're going to get to meet some really cool cats today, okay? All right. Hi, Juliet.
Hi. All right, guys. So it is really important, like Stacy was saying, to always wait before we meet a new animal, whether it's a dog, a cat, or anything else. So we're going to start today by going and meeting a few cats and seeing if they're interested in meeting us. We'll talk about their body language, as well as how to approach them and interact with them appropriately. So follow me. Let's get started. And I'll probably take my mask off once they're in there, just so I don't scare the cats. So here we go.
So all the cats you're going to see today, my friends, are available for adoption. Remember, if you are interested in adopting, you go to our website, sdhumane.org, and you make an appointment. So let's see who's in here.
So we have two kitties in here today. We have Monster right down here, and we have Pee-wee up here. So I want you guys to take a look at Pee-wee up on the top. So you can see he's looking at us. His eyes are a little bit closed. His ears are kind of forward a little bit in a neutral position. Let's see if he's interested in interacting. I'm going to approach him a little bit and hold out my hand. He's not really looking directly at me. His eyes are kind of off to the side. He may not be terribly interested. A little bit closer. There he goes. So he's leaning forward to sniff, licking his lips, curling his tail a bit more tightly, moving his legs a bit closer to his body and turning away. So it's very subtle and very polite, but he's saying, I'm not terribly interested in meeting you. And he's actually just kind of groomed his, we had a paw groom, we had a lip lick, he shook it off. All of those are signals saying, I'm not terribly comfortable. I may not really want this. All really small things, right? Things that we may not notice as a big, obvious cat no, but that was a cat no right there. So I'm going to give him the space that he's very politely asked for. And we're going to see if Monster down here is interested in saying hello. Looks like he's napping. So again, I want to be very polite. Oh, hello, my friend. He's curious. He's looking over. Some soft eye contact there. Let's offer again.
So Juliet, when you're doing the finger test, or to see that, to give you they are interested in being pet, so how close should you put it to them, and what are they going to do if they're saying yes?
They're probably going to lean into me, lean forward to sniff, the way that Pee-wee initially did. But they might continue leaning forward, or they might stay there and look at me, lean into my hand, rub against my hand. And we're kind of just taking a nap. So it looks like he's not very interested either. So we're going to go ahead and give him that space. Again, two very polite boys telling me they're not terribly interested. So we're going to move across the way and meet another kitty named Peaches and see if she does want to say hello.
So what I think is so important about that is we always are making sure we are listening to what the animals are telling us. So maybe I really want to pet those cats right now, but if they're saying no thank you, or I'm having my afternoon nap, or just not in the mood, we have to listen to that and respect it. So we need to make sure we're not just doing what we want, but what the animals want as well. So here's a cutie. This is Peaches and Cobbler, or oh, maybe I made that up. I did. It's Peaches and Cougar, sorry.
And Cougar, yep. A little bit different than Cobbler.
But that would have
So
been cute.
Peaches came running right up to the door as we approached, so it looks like she's much more interested. So I'm going to sit down here on the ground. I'm turning my body sideways to her. That way I'm not directly approaching. I don't want to threaten her. I'm going to offer my hand again. So she's leaning forward, rubbing up against that cat tree there, so a bit more comfortable, a bit more confident. Going over to see Daryl instead of me, which is totally fine. I'm not going to be offended by that. And
No,
she
so
was
she's showing
rubbing
her friendly behavior, but yes, she is going to other ones, and so just exploring now.
Yeah, and she was rubbing all over Daryl's leg, which was a very pro-social behavior. And did you know that when your cat rubs up against you, they're actually scent marking? Now, you won't smell any scent left behind, but they have glands on their body that leave behind scent that other cats will pick up on. And those are called pheromones. So you can see that rubbing she's doing up against you, very social, very loose body, that nice, slow, kind of curvy tail wag. All very comfortable cat behaviors. And she's so comfortable, she's going to turn her back on us and eat her food, which says she clearly doesn't see us as a threat or anything to worry about, which is really exactly what you want. You want your cat to be comfortable and doing their own thing, whether you're there or not.
So, Juliet, when I talk about dog body language, I always say never approach a dog who is eating. And how is that the same with a cat? Should we just be letting them be alone? Or I've also heard the term social eater. So those might be two different things. But so right as soon as we came in here, Peaches seemed like she was interested in going and eating. So what might we should be doing in those situations?
So for a lot of cats, I mean, when they're eating. My cats don't particularly care if I'm right there while they're eating, but also they're busy, so I'm not usually going to get right up in their face about it. But when she's eating because we're here, I think she's kind of just grabbing a bite and, again, kind of being social about it. She clearly wasn't interested in interacting with us while she was eating, but she was taking those breaks to interact with us in between. So that was all really good. You can see she's leaning in. She's asking us for attention as opposed to the other way around here. And that's one of the really big ways you can see if a cat is interested in interacting. Are they coming to you? Are they reinitiating? And one of the things I love about what Peaches is doing is she's taking breaks. You can see she doesn't want minutes at a time of attention right now. She's coming over, getting some snuggles, and moving off and doing her own thing. And when she wants more cuddles, she comes back. Sometimes when we're petting our cats, we'll be petting them, and they'll be sitting in our laps or sitting next to us, and all of a sudden they're grabbing at our hands or they're mouthing at us with their teeth. And that's not very fun. And we probably think to ourselves, well, you're right here with me. Don't you want me to pet you? Or don't you want me to be playing with you? And sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes the answer is, I just want to sit here next to you. So I always like to make sure that I'm watching for those differences. Do they want to play with me? Do they want to just sit next to me?
I've heard this term with cats, Juliet. I've heard overstimulated. Getting overstimulation. So it's like, what is that? So when we get them too excited, and we're just like, hey, I'm just petting you.
Exactly. It means they get way too riled up. And we've all had those moments, right? Where we're so excited we can barely contain ourselves. Same sort of things for our cats. Or if you get kind of overtired and you get cranky, similar sort of thing. When our cats get overexcited or they've burned off too much energy, they can get a little bit feisty sometimes. And that might display itself with mouthing, scratching, play aggression, different things like that. So your cat usually isn't trying to hurt you or do anything like that, but they're just saying, hey, I've had enough, or hey, I'm tired, and I need a bit of a break. And again, you can see she's leaning into my hand there. I initiated that interaction, but she was open to it. She's allowing face scratches. And a good thing to note, she's very comfortable, but if I didn't know her, which I didn't before today, when I first met her prior to us coming on today, I didn't start by reaching over her head. A lot of cats aren't comfortable with that. So start with cheek scratches or along the back if their back is towards you and they have turned their back towards you in a way that looks like they're interacting or looking for interaction, So look for things like that. Are they leaning in? She's telling me, yes, pet my head by leaning her head into my hand as opposed to her cheek or somewhere else. So look at what your cat is telling you. Where do they want to be pet? How do they want to be pet? She was done with me petting her ears, so she moved away.
And do you know what else I think is really, really important to note, especially for kids out there, and we've talked about this with dogs, like if they're in their crate. But Juliet, you can see she's not reaching in there and petting or sticking her hand. That's if the cat's gone in there, maybe they're saying, hey, this is a safe place, so she's very good. So she's petting her while she's in there, but she's not going to first approach and stick her hand in there or in a dog crate or that kind of thing.
And I'm asking her frequently. So I've been doing pauses in between because she was taking pauses earlier. And there, she was standing there. I offered her a hand, and she didn't really do much, and then she decided to lay down and get comfortable. She's like, nope, I'm done, I'm gonna take a longer break. So that was, again, very polite, really cool way of telling me she wasn't really interested in more petting and she wants a nap. So let's go ahead, we're gonna give her a chance to settle down. We're gonna try and meet some other cats.
So I love that, that talk about just doing what they want. So we're going to observe their behavior. We're going to let that guide our action. So when sometimes you want a break, you want to be left alone. That's what we need to do for our animal friends as well.
Exactly.
So you're going to notice. So we're going to come down here. You have all of these cats. So again, are showing are adoptable. So we're going to go and I want to show this one up because this one has been doing this for the last hour. And it's a perfect example of what we would say is comfortable and confident, right?
Yes, she is a very comfortable cat. Look at how she is curled up. She's stretched out. You can see her paws. You know, she's totally relaxed. She's right here in open view. She isn't hiding or anything like that. She looks really, really relaxed and really comfortable. So we love that. Now, she does look like she's quite asleep, so I wouldn't want to just go up and pet her. I would definitely want to make some noises nearby, maybe tap on the window, in this case, or kind of say her name from a few feet away before I just went to pet her, because some cats can get startled by that. But I want to make sure that I'm really giving her the opportunity to know that I'm coming if I'm looking to interact. And again, looking at that body language, nice and relaxed, nice and soft, very comfortable and calm looking. That's what you want to see, very confident little cat. Another example of a confident cat is going to be right here next door to us with Miss Hanna. She's interacting with one of our volunteers. And you can see again, she's leaning in for that petting. She's got her tail wag going with that cute little tail of hers. Very affectionate, looking for those, you know, interactions. You see that, ooh, little bit of a grab there, so getting a bit overexcited. And I think that that's happening because she was about to roll off the bench. And she was like, wait, I'm not quite comfortable.
Oh.
Now, we want to make sure that we're not using our hands as toys, because I can make it a bit more of an appropriate interaction voice on
So
Miss
that
Hanna's
looks to me
part.
like overstim, right?
Yeah,
What we just talked about, right? Is that what that
There
is?
was a little bit of overstimulation, but Hanna gave herself the break that she needed. She hopped down, and she shook it off and took a break, took a lap around the room. She's not quite sure if she's ready to go back yet. She's going to find something else to do and eat some food. These are all great decisions, great inhibition on Hanna's part. She's choosing to make good decisions and not continue escalating that behavior in inappropriate ways. So we love those choices. Again, very polite behavior from Miss Hanna.
And also from Miss Anna, the volunteer. Sorry, my mask came up. So we want to make sure that the human is making good choices too. So Anna saw that she was getting overstim, and then she let her have a little break. So I don't know if you can see this, Miss Daryl, but do you notice Hannah's cute little tail? So it's a little shaved right now, my friends. Can you see that? So Hanna came in with a injured tail, and the end part of it was necrotic. So it had already kind of died, basically. So our vets amputated it. They had to shave it to do that surgery. So now she looks like she's very stylish and kind of punk a little bit. But so that is going to grow back in, and she's just going to have the cutest, most distinctive little tail. As you can see, it is not bothering her. It is not stopping her. So she is just adorable as all get out. So speaking of tails, so this is Hanna. She's available for adoption, and she has beautiful markings and a cute little tail. So sometimes for tails, Miss Juliet, a tail wag or something from a cat can mean something very different than a tail wag for a dog, right? So what might some tail communication be from a cat?
Yeah. So just like dogs, cats are very communicative with their tails. Tail wags can mean all sorts of things. They could be happy, they could be playful, they could be agitated. There's all sorts of things. So if the tail's moving kind of slowly, like you saw Peaches was doing earlier and Hanna was doing a little bit of, that tail moving more slowly is usually a bit more of a playful or a comfortable tail movement. There's really fast little swishes or flicking that kind of look a bit more agitated. Well, they are a bit more agitated. Look for some of those different things. If their tail all of a sudden gets really puffy, that usually means that they're upset or they feel threatened or like something's going to harm them or like they have to protect themselves. So look for those puffy tails and those puffy bodies. That's called piloerection, which means the hair is standing up. So yeah, the tail tells us so much information. One of my cats is very expressive with his tail, and he'll use his tail wags all the time for all different reasons, so we always have to be watching. Now let's take a peek, speaking of tails, at these two boys right down here. Look at those tails. They are tucked in really close to their bodies. They are squished together. In fact, they've made themselves pretty small. And while they may look like they're comfortable in this position right here, they're actually pretty nervous. They're making themselves a bit smaller. They're tucked away from us. When they were awake earlier, their eyes were very wide. Their pupils were big and black and dilated. And they really weren't quite sure how to feel about us people walking by and kind of looking at them and interacting with them. So they were making themselves as little as they could, and they were really unsure and uncomfortable, again, with being in this new space. And they have just moved in here, so this is all still brand new for them.
Miss Juliet, I've heard when I was learning about cat body language with them, because you see when we first walked up, he's kind of giving us the side eye, so he's definitely paying attention to us. But then I saw him close his eyes. So I've actually heard about cats like feigning or pretending to sleep as kind of like an avoidance technique. Like please, like you can't see me, right?
Exactly. Yep. If they are pretending to be asleep, but they're kind of cracking an eye and looking at you every now and again, it means that they aren't really comfortable. It means that they're just pretending that they are asleep, so you will leave them alone. So yeah, these guys are pretty nervous. Again, you can see those pupils are really wide. You see more black than you do that nice orange color. He has very pretty eyes, but you're mostly seeing those big black dilated pupils because he's really not sure. Now he's looking a little bit more relaxed than he did earlier. His ears aren't quite as back or flat. He was a bit more conflicted and apprehensive earlier, but he's still kind of avoiding interactions or looking very nervous about his interactions with us. So these guys are a bit more shy, at least right now, being brand new to this area, this enclosure. But they would be the same in your home. You know, when they came into your home, they would probably need some time and a nice quiet space to settle in. Now, one of the nice things about these two is they aren't hiding. They aren't hiding behind the towel that we have in there or underneath in the little cat boxes they have. They're out in the open, which is good. Some cats are shy, fearful, and they will hide themselves. And a great example of that is Simba, who last I saw him, was hiding back behind this cat tree here, and you probably won't see him. I saw a paw sticking out earlier. But Simba's a pretty shy, fearful, yep, looks like he's still under there. He's a pretty shy, fearful kitty, and he's a big boy. He's an 18-pound kitty, and he is hiding. So Simba is a lot more fearful. He's also an easily overstimulated cat, where he can get easily aroused by his environment, especially if he's scared. So he may not always behave super appropriately as he's learning to navigate those spaces. So we want to give him lots of space. Probably having him live by himself is ideal. And just making sure that we go slowly with him and we give him a chance to get more comfortable with his environment. And Simba, just so you guys know, has been enrolled with my team at the Behavior Center for quite a while. He was in our behavior modification program, as you guys can see. So our trainers have done a lot of work with him to help him get to where he is now, where he's able to be up for adoption and on our main adoption floor. And actually, I think someone's coming to meet him today. So hopefully, he won't be here for too much longer.
So that's really exciting. So
really exciting.
Especially in giving those cats a chance who maybe need a little extra time, need a little extra love, they still deserve a wonderful living home. And usually after you give them that time and patience, they're going to come out and be an amazing pet. So we love our adopters who look for those ones who need some extra TLC and have the time to do that. So that's wonderful. So Simba, do we want to visit him or do we want to leave him alone? Because that's usually
We're going to leave him alone.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not quite ready for all this company yet. He's still pretty new to this area. So let's go ahead. Let's change gears a little bit and talk about enrichment.
Yes.
What are some things that we can do to give our dogs and cats and small animals, give our cats tasks to do, work to do, to help encourage their brains to think, make them work, and make them have some fun. Now, enrichment is a great tool, but for shy cats, it can help build confidence as well. So we love enrichment for all different types of training purposes, behavior purposes, etc. Now I'm going to show you some examples of enrichment. One of them is sitting in here with one of our cats named Penelope. And I don't know if she's played with it yet, but it's really simple to make at home. It's a cardboard box with some crumpled up paper inside. And with this box, I just tossed, as you can see, some treats or some of their breakfast in there, and they have to dig through it to find it. Now I have some cats at home who are more familiar with this type of toy, and they will sit by it and ask for it by name. They will sit there and stare at me or meow at me until I add some of their breakfast to it. They love doing this work. It gets them thinking, it keeps them busy, it keeps them out of trouble. So we love enrichment. And it can really help again, build confidence with cats who are more nervous with new things or new people or new spaces.
Julia, do you want to try and go in there and see if we can bring them out so it's more so we can see if the cat will interact?
Yeah, we can give it a try. I should get my keys, huh?
Yes, there you go.
That would be helpful.
Perfect.
So we can see, see if anyone wants to actually check it out.
And you can just kind of show close up exactly what you made and those kinds of things.
Yeah. So come on in. I'm gonna scoot this back here. Put newspaper inside. And let's see if Penelope wants to come out. Hi, pretty girl. Hi. So she was being super playful earlier. It looks like she might be taking a nap, but she may or may not choose to come out with us, and that's okay. We always want to give her that choice again of whether or not she wants to interact. I'm going to take off my mask so she's not spooked by me. Hi, pretty girl. What do you think? Do you want to come out? Nope, she looked away from my hand, so it looks like she's taking a bit of a breather. But again, this is really easy to use. You just drop some kibbles or some treats in there, and they'll dig through here to find all those goodies. And again, my cats love this. I'll actually have two of them line up next to it, and they'll very politely take turns of who's going to dig through the box next. So they love this. And as they get more familiar with it, you can add more and more of these balls to it and make it more complex if you want to. One of my cats initially would just take the easy ones, while the other one would dig through it, but now they both will dig through it and have quite a lot of fun doing so. In fact, at home, we use twice as many of these crumpled up balls as I have here. So they have really gotten good at this game, and they do it every day. They love it. So yeah, let's look at some other enrichment items.
Okay, so Miss Dario, sorry, I have to yell at you. So Snow, I know, is very excited. So Snow might actually enjoy that box, Miss Juliet. So you can see here, so we'll all get in and not have Miss Snow escape. So you can see on the floor, Snow has decided, I don't know about that box, but you can see on the floor, these are super simple toys that you can make at home. Especially right now, we have so much toilet paper rolls, right, that are so popular. So these are things we just added some, of course, I forgot that word now.
Pipe cleaners?
Pipe cleaner, thank you. These is just, I took the ends and trimmed them so that it becomes fun and playful. This you can even stick, like Juliet said, put some treats in there so then they can blow it around, hit it around and pot around and get some. And this is just a sock with some cotton balls and a little teeny bit of catnip in there added with some bells. So you don't have to go out and make any, buy anything amazing. You can make lots of fun stuff for your cats at home. So this is Snow, and she was very friendly earlier, but now there's 3 new people, which might be a little overwhelming for her.
Yep. You can see she's kind of turning away. She's hunched in, made herself a little bit smaller. So not super interested. She's sniffing the treats a little bit. You can see she was air sniffing right there to kind of see what I just dropped in the box. So she might come out and go for it, but she might not. And again, even with things like this, we want to be patient. We want to go slow. You can see she's curious. She keeps sniffing in that direction. She kind of wants to know what's going on there, which is great. But we always want to move at our cat's pace and give them the chances that they need to get comfortable and to choose to interact at whatever level they feel most comfortable. And she hasn't met any of us yet.
Yes.
So she's like, new people, new stuff, not really sure what's going on here.
Exactly. So again, what I like to point out, especially for you kids at home, Juliet is not reaching her hands under there. She's not forcing an interaction with Snow. She's just letting Snow kind of take it all in. And Snow might be very happy to play with this box once we're not here. Mm-hmm. It might become very exciting. But yeah, so she's just going to do the little finger hand test, see if there's any consent. And she says, okay, hey, maybe this isn't so bad.
Yeah, but again, she sniffed and turned away a little bit, so I'm not super comfortable with the idea of meeting me quite yet. Again, a lot of stuff going on here, but she did just take a treat. So getting a little bit more comfortable, which is great. That could mean that she might be more interested in coming out. I'm going to show her some more of those treats. Let's see what she thinks.
There we go. And again, what I like is that you're just putting them near her so she can make that choice, but she's not forced to take it out of your hand.
Exactly.
So it's giving her, and then you can lead her. I like that.
Yeah.
She is very cute.
She's very pretty.
So as you can see, friends, we have so many amazing adoptable cats right now of all different levels of outgoing, shy. So yes.
Yeah.
But again, a lot of them, like Juliet said, just moved in today. So of course that's stressful, and you're figuring out your new environment. That's stressful for anybody. So same thing when you take a new cat home, give them that time, give them that patience to get settled, to feel comfortable. And it might take a few days, it could take a few weeks, right?
Exactly. Oh yeah.
Or if we've had confident cats who day one decide that they run the place, right?
I have seen, such a range. We have cats who come out, they get in your home exactly. They're comfortable right away. I've worked with families where it's taken 6 months for their cats to become comfortable if they were really shy, fearful. But once, you put in that work and you get them comfortable, and you can see amazing things happen. And whether you're a new cat owner, a long-time cat owner, whether your cat is just a couple weeks old or many, many years old, I would encourage you guys to join us for some of the cat training that we do through San Diego Humane Society. We do what's called a Kitten Socialization and isolation chat on the weekends, on Sundays. And it's a free chat. It's 30 minutes long, and it covers all different aspects of socializing cats with their environment, from people to sounds to objects and textures. We cover different topics every weekend, and we rotate through about 6 different topics. And again, it's appropriate for cats of all ages, however long they've been in your home. And then we also are offering, we're super excited about this, Stacy, we're offering a 3-week training cat 4 class called the Trainable Cat. And it covers all sorts of cool behaviors. We go over clicker training, we teach sit, come, we teach them how to settle on a mat and be calm. We talk about troubleshooting behaviors. There's so many different things that we go over, and they've been really well received so far. People have had a really good time, and we've seen cats as young as, I think, 11 weeks join the class, and as old as, I think, 12, 13 years, and they all did a great job. So
I love that. And what I love hearing about that is all those things you said: sit, stay, come, sit on a mat. We don't normally think about that with our cat friends, but just like every animal we talk about when we visit, they need enrichment and training for their brain just as much as they need exercise for their bodies. It's so, so important. So I know many of you are saying, my cat only does what they want to do, which is what makes them a cat, but good to challenge yourself as well, right? To try to train one. So that's perfect. And so we are really, really hoping that maybe you saw someone today who would make a great new family member who you can fall in love with. And remember, if you are interested in adopting one of these cuties that we saw, you need to go to our website. So do not just please show up. Our procedure right now is go to the website, sdhumane.org, and you will make an appointment to talk to an adoption counselor on the phone. So please do that. All of these cats are deserving of such wonderful homes and are waiting for the right family to come and choose them. So please, please, please go check out. All of them are online. Make an appointment. Were there any questions, Miss Dario? No. Okay, excellent. So you can see that Snow is getting more and more comfortable coming out for those treats. So great way to interact with your own cat too. Thank you so much, Julia, for all this amazing information. Remember to check out our training classes. Come check out our website and our adoptable cats, and join us Wednesday for the Peregrine and the Merlin Falcon, which is going to be super cool. So see you on Wildlife Wednesday, and we'll say goodbye with cute little Snow having some treats. Thank you, everybody.